Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA, episode 310. I'm Brendan. All right, The Ultimate Fighter, season 31. This is Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, episode 11. All right? I have covered the entire series. If you missed the last couple episodes, I've got them all up. Go ahead and check them out. We're going to break down the whole episode here. We're going to talk about everything that happened in it, and then we're going to talk about the fight between Jason Knight and Kurt Holobaugh. Real quick, before we start getting into that stuff, subscribe to the channel if you do like this. I break down fights. I had, almost all the MMA fights from this weekend, right? I broke down the one championship card. I broke down the UFC card. I broke down Jake Paul, his boxing match with Nate Diaz. So go check that stuff out if you're interested. And subscribe to the channel so you know when the next video is coming out. Like I said, I appreciate it. Let's go. All right. So this episode, do I recommend watching it? I do. This is a watcher for me, okay? The fight at the end of it's worth watching. If you're looking for the breakdown of just the fight, it's down below in the timestamp. So I think that this season is kind of I hate when people do this. Because if you're gonna take the time to put together a review of something, maybe you shouldn't use it's not even a word, but the sound meh to describe things. But that's what a lot of this has felt like. I'm an MMA fan, pretty avid one. I watch a lot of it, so I'm down for more shenanigans than most people. And even I am finding myself less interested in the day-to-day ongoings of each fight and waiting for the next one, and more interested in just saying, hey, let's just see the championship. Let's just see the finals now. We've had enough. I'm kind of over this season, and the play between Chandler and McGregor, clearly it didn't work out the way that they thought. They thought McGregor was going to have a lot more camera moments. I don't think he's had that many, to be honest. I think he's been pretty reserved, and they didn't capture a lot. Or maybe the things that they did capture, they can't show on television or something like that. So real quick, another thing that I wrote down, I could easily see both these guys getting a UFC contract again after this. I do. Both just their tenacity, the way they fight. If they're action fighters and they go forward like this, I could see them both having careers in the UFC. I think Holobaugh definitely has a better chance to make it. Both guys have a similar attitude towards this as well. They want to go in there and beat the crap out of each other and then be friends afterwards. That was pretty cool. They both said, they were supposed to fight about 10 years ago, but especially because they live about a little over an hour away from each other. And they just, it didn't happen because Jason Knight got into an accident, so they ended up not fighting back then. They're in the same points in their career. They were at that point. They still are now. And it seems like it's just been, fate. Just like the previous Chandler versus Chandler fight, there will be nobody giving advice in the corner for either of these guys. They will have a guy there, just like he did last time. Jason Knight's looking to be the counter striker as Kurt rushed forward. That was his plan. These guys were supposed to, let's see here. The coaches, the coach challenge was actually kind of interesting in this one. So they have to go into an ice bath and stay in there the whole time while answering trivia questions, and the winning team gets $1,500 apiece, which is pretty cool. They do that a lot in the seasons, not with the ice bath necessarily, but they have some sort of coach's challenge. Neither one knew about Mark Coleman, who he beat. Neither one of them knew who Brock Lesnar fought. Oh, no, that's not true. Michael Chandler didn't know who Brock Lesnar's first win in the UFC was, and then Tito Ortiz, who his defeat was at a certain event. So it was just interesting to see them. McGregor seemed to know more about the UFC in the early thing, going up like 5-3 after the first round, and then they tie in the second round, making it still 10-8. And then 20 minutes go by, and they're still in these damn ice baths, shivering, right? And Chandler answers all the questions about McGregor correct, and McGregor answers all the questions about Chandler correct. Okay, well, one of the questions about McGregor is when he was voted the best new fighter. It was like the year 2000, the year 2013, and the year 2023. That's bullshit. It should have been like the year 2010, 2013, 2012, something like that. Something real difficult, because that question was bullshit. That was super easy for Chandler. And then at the end of it, both guys were shivering and wanted to get out of the tub. But Conor answered the last one about Chandler correct. And his team all gets $1,500. I thought that was kind of cool. Well, that's it for the episode. Like I said, the trivia, I love trivia. So I'll watch two guys answering UFC trivia. That's why I actually enjoyed watching this episode, was the trivia part. And they even cut some of the questions out. It's such crap. So if you like trivia and that kind of stuff, I'd recommend. Give her a watch. All right, Jason Knight versus Kurt Holobaugh. This is the fight breakdown. Kurt was moving forward as expected. Every time they exchanged, Kurt was just landing with more volume. Everything that he would throw, he seemed to find the chin. Knight was staying dirty in the clinch, landing elbows. He was landing hard hooks to the body. Kurt was finding Knight's chin just so easy. Knight was not moving his head off the center line very well. Not that he's historically good at doing that, but the thing is, he likes to throw back, and the stuff that he was throwing back at Kurt was either slipping it or he was rolling with it, not taking as much damage. And dude, that right hand from Holobaugh landed so many freaking times. It was tough to watch Knight take a beating. Like it was. I almost didn't want to watch it. You could see during the second round, Kurt they show Conor McGregor like ugh. Another professional fighter who does this for a living, looks at them and is going ugh. Like that's a lot of damage. Knight finally found a decent 1-2 at some point in this, near the end of this first round. He finally finds something, and then he immediately takes a 1-2 himself. So, and a harder one. Knight just doesn't have the volume that he needs, and he's landed some decent push kicks and some other stuff. I think he started to go to the kicks more in the second round, and I think that would have served him better in the first round. Knight just took so much damage in this first round, 10-9. Second round here, Kurt was staying in his face, landing a hard right hand, stiff jabs. Knight was trying to keep him at range with the kicks, but it was not working early. And then Knight started to have, a moment in the middle of this round for about 2 minutes where, he's staying in the middle. He's being able to land some kicks to the body. He's throwing them up top, keeping the distance, landing some decent hooks with uppercuts, and he's throwing out his volume now. And you started to feel like Kurt was kind of just biding his time because nothing was really hurting him. And that's when he turned it on. So Kurt landed a huge right hand, staggered Knight back to the fence, and then put it on him and got the TKO finish. Oof. It was rough watching him. They said it was a war, but really, I mean, you can call it a war, but it was more like a murder, a massacre. It was just one-way traffic. Kurt didn't take a lot of damage in this, and Knight sure did. So was the fight this spectacular masterpiece of technical wizardry? No, it was two guys going in there swinging. Kurt. Now, that being said, I feel like Kurt did exactly what he said he was going to do, which was be a technical brawler. He kept the pressure on, and he was throwing not the most technical strikes, not the most technical combinations, let's say. It was just very basic stuff, but he was good at it. And he was fine. Why change it if he's landing it over and over? And he was doing so much damage. I feel like he's doing a really good job in there, keeping the pressure on, keeping the damage output, and that's what got him the win. Oh man, picking between him and poop. What's the other guy's name? Why can I not think of his freaking name? Starts with an H. Hubbard, Austin Hubbard. So it's between him and Austin Hubbard for the lightweight champion of the Ultimate Fighter. So Austin Hubbard, probably a little bit better. Probably. But Kurt's really tough. He can be technical if he wants to. I lean towards Hubbard in that matchup, but we'll talk about that when that actually occurs. I'll obviously break down those fights when they happen on that card. So that's it. Yeah, like this episode was pretty swift. Not a whole lot of stuff. Again, they call home. I didn't go over that when we were going over the episode, but they call home, and again, just doesn't do anything for me. I feel like it's really old-fashioned. Like they're all trying to keep it a secret so they can make it whatever. I appreciate y'all for stopping by here. Like I said at the beginning, if you like this kind of stuff, you like MMA, you like podcasts about MMA, subscribe to the channel. That way you know the next video is coming out. 2 or 3 videos every single week breaking down fights, doing the Ultimate Fighter. Let me know. Should I do the Contender Series? I think it's on the same nights because I saw that they posted like it got put out. I don't know if I want to do both, but maybe when this season's over, then I'll do the Contender Series. Maybe I'll do it a day later. I don't know. You guys let me know what you want. I appreciate y'all. Have an amazing week. Love you.